Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another Conway Stewart pen on loan from John at stjohnspens.com, and I'd like to thank John for loaning me this pen for review. Now this is a Conway Stewart America or Conway Stewart USA pen. This is not an original Conway Stewart pen or a bespoke British Pens Conway Stewart pen. Now, there are different Conway Stewarts. Conway Stewart was originally around from the early 1920s until 2014 when it finally closed its doors and went bankrupt. Bespoke British Pens brought up a lot of the rod stock and clips and cap finials and cap bands and machinery and continued making Conway Stewart pens, authentic Conway Stewart pens. And then there's this one, which is Conway Stewart USA or Conway Stewart America, which is Manu from ASC Pens or Wild Eversharp, now the pen family. Now, you get this box here with the Conway Stewart logo and in a different font than the sleeve of the pen. You'll also get a couple of other things as well that I'll show you. You get a Conway Stewart guarantee or warranty card, and this says that Conway Stewart pens are guaranteed for 18 months against mechanical failures due to faulty material or workmanship. Now this is Conway Stewart USA, not the bespoke British Pens or the original Conway Stewart. You'll also get this brochure as well, and this brochure details all about the original Conway Stewart, which is in no way linked to Conway Stewart USA, which is a rebrand. You have the history of Conway Stewart there, and also about De La Rue and the original founders. You have the Conway Stewart workers in the 1930s, the 1950s, the original Conway Stewart building that got bombed in the Blitz in the war, the new Conway Stewart model M100, which is what Manu created about 4 or 5 years ago, sold a few models and didn't sell any more of. And now he's decided suddenly to rebrand and start making more Conway Stewart models in the Series 100. So I think let's remove the lid of this, and you'll see here you get a Conway Stewart pen rest and you have the pen. So you have a Conway Stewart little toggle or medallion I'll remove. And then you have the Conway Stewart Series 100, and this is in the blood orange spaghetti. Now I really do like these spaghetti models. They really do appeal to me more. You have the standard or a black cap finial here. It's not the original cap finial that you would see on a Conway Stewart. You have a Conway Stewart replica clip. And then you have a cap band that has Conway Stewart logo engraved, but that's not the original cap band that you would have had on a Conway Stewart, or even a bespoke British Pens Conway Stewart. So in terms of the size of my hand, this is actually quite nice. It's a good size, it's a good way I can post the cap, and it posts quite securely. It does have an 18 karat gold plated steel nib with a laser engraved Conway Stewart logo there. There's no nib designation. It has an ABS plastic feed. Now the section here, you can unscrew the body and it has metal threads, and you'll notice that this comes off. So there is some brass or brass coloured threads in there, and you have a cartridge converter, but you have this that just sits there loose in the body. And once you screw the body on though, it actually doesn't rattle around, but you will notice that when you clean the pen. So for me, I do like the material of this pen. I like the blood orange, I like the spaghetti type sort of material. It's a resin material, it's not a celluloid. But I think with that, let's do a size check, we'll do a weight check, we'll do a pen comparison, and then we'll do a writing sample. So the length of the pen, we are looking at 138mm in length. The cap length is 61mm in length. We'll do a check on the length of the body. we're looking at 124 millimeters from the tip of the tines. And then we'll do a weight check. So the full weight of the pen with that additional weighted counterweight inside the body is just over 33 grams in weight. The weight of the cap is just over 8 grams, and the weight of the body is just under 22 grams with that counterweight. Now we'll do a comparison with other pens. So from left to right, we have a Visconti Kaleido Voyager in the Yellow Dawn. We have a Visconti Kaleido Voyager in the Forest Green. We have a Bespoke British Pens Conway Stewart Churchill in the Blue Stardust. We have a Bespoke British Pens, and this is the Conway Stewart Churchill in the Red Stardust. We have a Bespoke British Pens Conway Stewart Series 100 in the Red Stardust. We have a Conway Stewart USA in the Blood Orange Spaghetti. We have a Visconti Divina, we have a Visconti Homo Sapiens Bronze Swirl, we have a Classic Pens LM1 in the Flame Red, and we have a Classic Pens LB5 in the Kaoseki. So let's do a writing sample. So we have the Conway Stewart USA Series 100, and this is the Blood Orange Spaghetti, and this is a steel nib, and I would say that this writes a little bit more like a broad Western nib. Now I believe that this is a Bock nib because all of the pen family nibs tend to be Bock nibs. So this, I believe, is a steel nib, but it doesn't have any nib designation in terms of nib width. The ink in here today is KWZ Grapefruit, which I think matches this pen quite nicely. Now, in terms of line variation, it is a steel nib, and you can see if I try to push it a little bit harder, there's a slight line variation difference, but you're not going to get a lot of line variation because it is a steel nib. In terms of wetness, let's have a look. It's quite a wet nib, but it's not a super fire hose nib. Now, this is a pen that I like a lot. I think the price isn't bad for a steel nib pen. I think it's about the right price, maybe slightly higher than maybe a Leonardo, for instance. But I think the resin is a nice resin. I think the shape and size of the pen is also good. But if you want an original Conway Stewart, you need to buy an original, authentic Conway Stewart from pre-2014. If you want a slightly more modern but authentic Conway Stewart, then I would say look at the Bespoke British Pen versions of Conway Stewarts. But if you don't really mind, then there's this one, which is a Conway Stewart USA model. So I'd like to thank John again from stjohnspens.com. He loaned me this pen for review. If you haven't checked out John already, check him out at stjohnspens.com or stjohnspens on Instagram. If you get to check him out at any of the pen shows, he goes to all of the UK pen shows and all of the European pen shows. So if you get a chance, check him out there. If you can't get yourself off to a pen show in UK or Europe, then certainly go and check him out at stjohnspens.com or on Instagram. So I'd like to thank John again once more for loaning me this pen for review. This is my review of the Conway Stewart USA Series 100 Blood Orange Spaghetti. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.